That's a toxic relationship.
I know it's hard because you want to say, girl, and I told you, and just listen.
At one point in time, you're going to go, wow, what happened to me?
Shirley's got some serious explaining to do, and the internet isn't holding back. People are slamming her left and right for standing by her husband Ernesto, who's facing some jaw-dropping criminal charges, including the unimaginable. And hold on to your seats, because Shirley didn't just stand by him quietly. Oh no, she decided to launch an attack on his victims. Talk about kicking someone when they're already down. But here's the real kicker. Shirley is actually begging the courts to release him into her custody. Can you believe it? It's like she's auditioning for a starring role in a soap opera. Anyway, let's dive into the messy details of Shirley's train wreck of a life. Ernesto Williams, her husband, is on the brink of prison time for those serious charges. But here's the tea. Rumors are swirling that Shirley might have known about his dark secrets all along. Some say she even played an accomplice, helping him cover his tracks. Yikes, talk about a partner in crime. But wait, it gets juicier. Their relationship has been a red flag parade from day one. Steve Harvey, yes, the matchmaking guru himself, introduced Shirley and Ernesto. Can we talk about Steve's questionable track record when it comes to love connections? Seriously, folks, this screams disaster from miles away. And here's a moment that left us all scratching our heads. Ernesto had the audacity to propose to Shirley on her own radio show alongside Steve Harvey, but guess what? She didn't even recognize her man's voice.
Shirley,
Yes.
this your man right here. What?
It's Ernesto.
Wait a minute.
Back in the day, some folks thought it was adorable, but now, upon revisiting the scene, it's downright bizarre that Shirley couldn't recognize her own man's voice. Makes you wonder just how well she knew this guy, or if she had any clue about the mess she was getting herself into. And let me spill the tea on Ernesto. This guy has a rap sheet that stretches back to the 80s. We're talking a laundry list of criminal charges and felony convictions spanning over 2 decades. It leaves you questioning why on earth Steve would set up Shirley with this shady character. I mean, seriously, does Steve have any clue about matchmaking? But here's the kicker. Insiders spill the beans that Shirley was well aware of Ernesto's colorful past, yet she was convinced that he had turned over a new leaf. They took the plunge and tied the knot, and for a hot minute, it seemed like Ernesto had indeed transformed his life. He opened up a swanky barbershop in Atlanta, catering to A-listers, and even started his own private security firm, offering unarmed protection. It appeared that Shirley had successfully turned a bad boy into a stand-up guy. But guess what? It was all a facade, a smoke and mirrors act. Turns out our dear Ernesto was still up to his old tricks, running sneaky scams behind closed doors. Last year, the truth came crashing down when he was busted by the authorities for a $1 million fraud scheme. That shiny suit couldn't hide his true colors for long. Reports spill the details that this dynamic duo, 57-year-old Ernest Williams and his partner in crime, 46-year-old Erica King, conned people left and right. They posed as business experts, promising to skyrocket their victims' brands, missions, life goals, and social media followings. Ernesto and his partner in crime, Erica, were pulling off one sneaky scheme. It had all the markings of a classic scam, with a twist of pretending to be life coaches or something equally deceitful. Once the unsuspecting clients handed over their hard-earned cash, Ernesto and Erica vanished into thin air, leaving their victims high and dry without the promised services. Believe it or not, these two cunning con artists managed to swindle more than a dozen people out of a staggering sum totaling over $1 million. But here's the mind-boggling part. Not a single client had the guts to step forward and take legal action against Ernesto and Erica. It's like they were under some kind of scam-induced spell, unable to confront the criminals who had robbed them blind. However, fate had other plans in store for Ernesto and Erica. It all started with a case of rental fraud involving Ernesto. You see, he and Erica had a cozy little house right next to the one he shared with Shirley. But when Ernesto conveniently stopped paying the rent for a solid 4 months, the homeowner had had enough and lodged a complaint with the courts. Little did Ernesto know that this seemingly isolated incident would open up a Pandora's box of financial misdeeds. Investigators began delving into Ernesto's tangled web of financial transactions, and what they discovered was nothing short of shocking. It was a full-blown scheme that extended far beyond the rental fraud case. The house on Pine Grove Road became the epicenter of their investigation, unraveling the extensive network of deceit Ernesto and Erica had meticulously constructed. As the detectives followed the money trail, it became clear that their initial suspicions were well-founded. Ernesto and Erica's house of cards was about to come crashing down, leading to their eventual arrest for fraud. The curtain was finally drawn on their grand illusion, and justice was slowly but surely catching up to these masterminds of deception. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Remember when I mentioned earlier that people suspected Shirley had knowledge of Ernesto's shady endeavors? Well, buckle up because it gets even more scandalous. Just a couple of months ago, before all hell broke loose, Shirley slyly removed Ernesto's name from the house she owns in California. Sneaky move, Shirley. This cunning act ensures that if Ernesto ends up losing everything due to his criminal charges, Shirley's house cannot be claimed as one of his assets. Talk about protecting her own interests. But let's dive into the aftermath of Ernesto's arrest, shall we? The man was hit with a slew of charges that would make any law-abiding citizen's head spin. He was slapped with a whopping 5 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony. Although 2 of the charges were later dismissed, Ernesto's wallet took a significant hit when his bond was set at a staggering $15,000. And that's not all, folks. He also faced an additional 3 charges, including theft by taking, operation of credit repair services, and theft by deception. It's as if scamming money from unsuspecting entrepreneurs wasn't enough. He had the audacity to swindle established business owners as well. If you thought that was the peak of the drama, you're in for a disturbing twist. Court documents from November 18th, 2021 reveal another deceitful act committed by Ernesto. He shamelessly deceived a car repair service, racking up a bill of more than $1,500 from Palmer Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. And guess what? He conveniently failed to settle the payment. Once a scammer, always a scammer, right? It seems Ernesto just can't resist the allure of deceit and fraudulent behavior. But wait, it gets even more chilling. As we all know, once the police catch a whiff of wrongdoing, they dig deep into every nook and cranny. And boy, did they uncover some unsettling discoveries about Ernesto. Brace yourselves for this one. This man was found in possession of explicit and inappropriate images and videos involving innocent children. Yes, you heard it right. It's beyond creepy and downright disturbing. But hold on to your hats because the darkness deepens. Ernesto stands accused of something even more despicable. Heinous acts committed against not just one, but a shocking total of 11 innocent minors. It's a gut-wrenching revelation that sends shockwaves through the soul. As a result, he has been ordered to stay away from the families and associates of his victims, rightfully so. But here's where the tale takes an even more sinister turn. Prepare yourselves for the heart-wrenching truth that hits far too close to home. Among his victims lies Shirley's own daughter, her precious and only child. Can you believe it? But the nightmare doesn't end there, my friends. Brace yourselves for this harrowing detail. He didn't stop at Shirley's daughter. He also SA'd her daughter's 2 young children. Can you believe the depths of depravity? It's a shocking revelation that defies comprehension. What on earth is happening in this world? And it gets even creepier, my friends. Ernesto has now been ordered to stay away from all animals. This unsettling order suggests that he may have engaged in improper acts involving innocent creatures. It's a sickening thought that leaves us unsettled to the core. Some fans have rightfully pointed out that a lifetime ban from animals is not something you earn by being simply cruel. It hints at something far more sinister and disturbing. One would think that such horrifying actions against her own flesh and blood would be enough to sever any ties, but oh no, not for Shirley. She remains resolute in her determination to stand by this man. In fact, she goes to great lengths, even beseeching the courts to release him into her loving embrace once more. It defies all reason and begs the question, what hold does he have over her heart? The depths of their connection, twisted as it may be, is nothing short of baffling. Meanwhile, fans have unleashed a torrent of criticism aimed directly at Shirley Strawberry. They are taking to the online stage, expressing their profound disappointment and disbelief at her unwavering support for a criminal, while conveniently turning a blind eye to the immense harm he has inflicted. It's a spectacle that is both disheartening and deeply disturbing to witness. One particular fan wrote, "Girl, please let him go." In any case, as the story continues to unfold, it remains to be seen how Shirley Strawberry will respond to the mounting pressure and public scrutiny. Will she reconsider her stance and distance herself from Ernesto, or will she continue to defend him despite the overwhelming evidence against him? Only time will tell. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.